The internet in 2025 has been absolutely wild, and if you've been wondering what the heck everyone's been talking about, with dancing ballerinas with coffee cups for heads, or why your timeline is flooded with auto-rickshaw drivers and tomato festivals, you're in the right place. This year has given us some of the most bizarre, heartwarming, and downright inexplicable viral moments we've ever seen. And honestly, half of them make no sense until you actually watch them. But here's the thing about viral content that most people don't realize. It's not just random chaos that somehow captures millions of eyeballs. There's actually a pattern to what makes people stop scrolling, share with their friends, and turn complete strangers into overnight sensations. Some of these videos tap into pure nostalgia. Others hit you right in the feels, and a few are so weird that your brain literally can't process them until you've watched them 3 times. What I'm about to show you are the 8 most viral videos that dominated 2025. You'll understand exactly, and by the end of this breakdown, why each one exploded the way it did. We're talking about content that racked up tens of millions of views, spawned countless remixes, and had everyone from your little cousin to major corporations trying to recreate the magic. Plus, I'll reveal the psychological tricks these creators used, whether they knew it or not, that made their content absolutely irresistible to make you question everything you thought you knew about what makes content go viral, especially when we share. Trust me, some of these will get to the one involving a baby, a curb, and somehow the most wholesome content the internet has produced all year. Let's dive into the madness, starting off strong with something that perfectly captures how absolutely unhinged the internet has become in 2025. Italian brain rot featuring ballerina cappuccina is exactly what happens when artificial intelligence meets the collective fever dream of an entire generation. And honestly, I'm not sure if we generated characters that concerned. Picture this. AI should be impressed or deeply too many ballet performances while having look like they were designed by someone who had too much espresso, and watch star of this phenomenon is ballerina cappuccina, a complete mental breakdown, the complete with foam art and everything. She a graceful dancer whose head is literally a cappuccino cup, only be described as gibberish Italian that somehow pirouettes around speaking in what can nonsensical at the same time. The genius sounds both sophisticated and completely of this trend lies in its absolute commitment to being completely absurd. These aren't just random AI creations thrown together hastily. Someone took the time to develop entire storylines, character arcs, and dialogue that sounds like it was written by an Italian watching soap operas. The attention to detail is honestly grandmother, who's been drinking way too much coffee while swirls as she moves to the dramatic, incredible, from the way cappuccina's foam gestures that accompany her incomprehensible monologues. What really sent this over Gen Z and Gen Alpha crave. This The Edge was how perfectly it captured the chaotic energy that what's happening. Its pure, concentrate isn't content designed for adults trying to understand internet culture distilled into its most potent form. Kids were sharing these videos faster than their parents could figure out what they were even looking at, and that generational divide only made it more appealing. The numbers speak for themselves. Over 55 million views across TikTok alone, with videos and attempts to create similar characters, countless remixes, reaction tapped into something deeper than just random. But what's fascinating is how this humor. There's something about the combination of classical art, forms like ballet with modern technology and complete people view the world right linguistic chaos that perfectly represents how young now, Everything feels simultaneously sophisticated and completely unhinged, traditional yet futuristic, beautiful but also kind of disturbing. Ballerina Cappuccina became the perfect mascot for a generation that's growing up with AI art, global connectivity, and the constant feeling that reality itself might just be one big surreal meme. Moving from artificial chaos to genuine human sweetness, we have what might be the most unexpectedly wholesome viral phenomenon co-op on a stoop sounds of the year. Like it should be the name of some indie band your older sibling listens to, but instead it's 18-month-old Cooper sitting on a curb watching cars drive by, and somehow this became appointment viewing for millions of people. Now I know what you're thinking. A toddler sitting and watching traffic doesn't exactly sound like premium entertainment, but that's exactly what makes this so brilliant. In a world where everyone's trying to create the most outrageous, attention-grabbing content possible, Cooper's parents accidentally discovered that sometimes the most nothing at all. The format is powerful thing you can do is absolutely tiffly simple. Cooper sits on the same curb, cars go by, he waves sometimes, maybe points at a particularly interesting truck, and that's it. No fancy editing, no dramatic music, no attempts to manufacture viral moments. Just pure, unfiltered toddler joy in its most natural state. There's something almost meditative about watching this little guy find genuine fascination in something adults completely incredible, is how this raison take for granted what saw their own kids sated across completely different demographics. Parents in Cooper's reactions. People wonder and curiosity reflect without children found themselves inexplicably charmed by his genuine enthusiasm for everyday life. Even cynical teenagers who normally scroll past family content found themselves stopping to watch Cooper's latest sidewalk adventures. The authenticity factor here cannot be overstated. This wasn't a family trying to become influencers or create content for brand partnerships. These were parents documenting their kids' favorite daily activity, and that genuine quality shines through every single video. When major brands and sports teams started reaching out, wanting to collaborate, Cooper's family kept it low-key, maintaining the exact same format that made it special in the first place. There's also something beautifully analog about the whole thing. In an era of virtual reality, AI-generated content, and increasingly complex digital experiences, millions of people found comfort in watching a real child have real reactions to real cars driving down a real street. It's like the internet collectively decided to take a deep breath and remember what simple joy actually looks like. The psychological appeal runs deeper than you might expect. Watching Cooper reminds us of a time when our biggest concern was whether the next car would be red or blue, when the highlight of the day was spotting a garbage truck, when sitting outside and observing the world was entertainment enough. In our hyper-connected, constantly stimulated lives, Cooper became an accidental ambassador for mindfulness and present-moment awareness. Next up, we're diving into celebrity culture colliding with social media enemy Mars, and actor Jacob Elordi decide the most unexpected way possible. When Sofia Coppola's daughter, Ard, to post a simple dance video, they probably had no idea they were about to create one of the most watched celebrity TikToks of the year. The video itself is deceptively straightforward. Romy and Jacob dancing to Lil Mu's Top of Cars in what appears to be a completely spontaneous moment. No professional lighting, no choreographer, no elaborate setup. Just two people vibing to a song and sharing that moment with the world. Within days, it had nearly 19 million views, and suddenly this so compelling wasn't just the star. Everyone was talking about this unexpected collaboration. What made power? Though Jacob Elordi's massive following certainly didn't hurt, it was the genuine chemistry and the fact that this felt like catching a real moment rather than staged content. There's something magnetic about watching people have authentic fun, especially when those people happen to be connected to Hollywood royalty and rising acting stars. The song choice was perfect, too. Top of Cars has watching Romy and Jacob get this infectious energy that makes you want to move, and caught up in that rhythm felt completely natural. They weren't trying to nail complex choreography or create some elaborate concept. They were just dancing because the song made them want to dance, and that authenticity translated through the screen. The generational aspect here is fascinating too. You have Sofia Coppola's daughter, representing this new wave of nepotism babies' identities, who are carving out their own digital, paired with Jacob Elordi, who represents the traditional path from Australian soap operas to Hollywood heartthrob. Their collaboration felt like, too, the most natural way possible. Different entertainment ecosystems colliding in. What really amplified this was the timing. September's settling when everyone yearns after summer. Scroll back into rooting through social media, looking for something to break the monotony. This video dropped right into that sweet spot where people were hungry for content that felt effortless and fun. The algorithm picked it up, the engagement skyrocketed, and suddenly you couldn't escape this dance appearing on your timeline. But there's something deeper happening here about celebrity culture in 2025. Traditional red carpet moments and paparazzi shots are becoming less relevant when stars can create intimate, authentic connections with audiences through platforms like TikTok. This video'd feel like celebrity content worked because it didn't. It felt like stumbling across your cool friends having a moment, except those friends happened to be incredibly famous. Now let's shift gears completely and talk about content that hits you right in the emotional center. The Bengaluru Auto Dad video represents everything beautiful about how social and media can amplify human resilience and love in its purest form. The setup is heartbreakingly simple. An auto rickshaw driver inundating the chaotic streets, while Bengaluru, Navig holding his baby in, captured this moment of everyday one arm, steering with the other. Someone did. Life and share, probably not expecting it to resonate far beyond their immediate circle. Instead, it became of working parents everywhere. Window into the reality who are doing whatever it takes to provide for their families. What makes this video so powerful is how it strips away all genuinely human, this pretense, and shows us something isn't content created for virality. This is life happening in real time, and the emotional honesty of that moment translates across language barriers, cultural differences, and economic circumstances. People saw this father's dedication and recognized something storytelling here is incredible without universal about parental love and sacrifice. The visual can see the concentration answers his professional responsibilities with caring on the driver's face. As for his child, the baby trying to be, Yuhi Bale appears completely comfortable and secure, which speaks heartbreaking and inspiring about Whiten, their family. There's something bothessing this level volumes about how normal this arrangement probably is for of commitment to both work and fatherhood. This writes, and the length's video sparked conversations about economic inequality. Worker parents go to support their children. But it also celebrated the ingenuity and show in challenging love that people circumstances. Comments PD, the world sharing oured in from parents around care, creating this their own stories of juggling work and chillicity factor, is what separate beautiful global conversation about shared experiences. The authentic this from typical viral content. This wasn't performed or staged. Someone witnessed a moment that moved them and decided to share it, and millions of people responded to that genuine emotion. In a digital landscape often criticized for being superficial or manufactured, the Bengaluru Autodad video reminded everyone that the most powerful content often comes from simply documenting real life with empathy and respect. From individual resilience to collective joys, La Tomatina Festival, where cultural, our next viral moment, takes us to Spain fusion, created something absolutely magical in tomato pulp. They accidentally, when a group of Indians started singing and dancing to, created one of the most joyful cross Juma Chuma. While the internet had seen all cultural moments, Tomatina is already year. La peak chaos, the streets of. Thousands of people throwing tomatoes at each other in Buñol, everyone covered head mayhem. Into organized to toe in red pulp, pure madness. This beautiful Bollywood energy, complete with choreographed moves participants brought, and enthusiastic singing, creating this perfect storm of cultural celebration. What made this video irresistible was how it captured the universal language of music and dance. You didn't need to understand Hindi or Spanish to feel the infectious energy these performers brought to an already energetic event. The contrast was perfect, too. Here's this traditional Spanish festival that's been happening for decades, suddenly infused with Bollywood glamour and enthusiasm, and somehow it worked better than anyone could have imagined. The visual elements were incredible, red tomatoes flying everywhere, people bright the streets, and slipping and sliding through in the middle of it all, this group maintaining perfect rhythm and obvious joy, despite being absolutely drenched in tomato juice. The dedication to the performance, even while getting pelted with fruit, showed a level of commitment that people couldn't help but admire and share. This video worked about cultural exchange and globalization, instead because it represented everything positive of appropriation or misunderstanding. This was appreciation and celebration. These weren't tourists awkwardly trying to fit in. These were people bringing their own something new and beautiful that honored both cultures simultaneously. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. Either cultural expression to a Spanish tradition, creating and cultural divisions tensions year where global. In a dominated headlines, seeing dance and tom people from different backgrounds coming together through music, theater fights kind of content, that felt like exactly world needed. It reminded everyone is that joy universal, that festivals exist to bring people together, and that sometimes the best cultural moments happen when different traditions collide in unexpected ways. So there you have it, the 8 viral videos that absolutely dominated 2025, and honestly, looking back at all of them together reveals something pretty incredible about where we are as a digital culture right now. From AI-generated ballerinas with cappuccino heads to babies watching traffic, from celebrity spontaneity to cross-cultural festival magic, this year proved that viral content isn't following any rulebook we thought we understood. What's fascinating is how these videos represent every possible emotion and experience the internet can amplify. We've got pure absurdist chaos, genuine human connection, celebrity authenticity, parental dedication, cultural fusion, nostalgic resurgence, extreme persistence, and yes, even the darker side of AI that we need to stay vigilant about. It's like 2025 gave us a complete spectrum of what makes people stop scrolling and start sharing. The real lesson here isn't that you need to recreate any of these specific moments, because honestly, that's impossible. Lightning doesn't strike twice in exactly the same way. Instead, these videos show us that authenticity still wins. Whether that's being genuinely weird, genuinely sweet, or genuinely passionate about something. The internet can smell manufactured content from a mile away. But when something real breaks through, it spreads faster than we can even track. If you enjoyed diving into this digital madness with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button because, trust me, 2025 is just getting started, and I have a feeling we're going to see even wilder stuff before the year's over.